Hello everyone, today we'll be taking a look at the Nyxi Hyperion 3. This here is a prototype unit sent to me by Nyxi, but it's very close to the final build. This is everything that you'll get in the box. We have the controller, the manuals, a USB Type-C cable, and an extra Dpad. The first thing I noticed is that the Hyperion 3 is awfully similar to the Mobapad M6 HD. The ergonomics is almost 1-to-1. The Hyperion 3 has magnetic connections just like the Switch 2 joycons. But it doesn't have the mouse sensors for the mouse mode. The SL and SR buttons though are made of metal just like the original. Checking the controller weight, the Hyperion 3 weighs about 102 grams. My original Joy-Con with the grips weighs about 94 grams. And if I remove the grips, it has 67 grams. The face buttons are great. They use mechanical switches, the resistance is pretty okay, and the buttons won't sink too flat with the shell when fully pressed. The analog sticks has a plastic shaft, and the controller doesn't have internal restriction rings. So you might want to add some anti-friction tape here to avoid wear in the long run. We have a T, a C, and a home button, and the release mechanism is the same as the originals. The back buttons are in the perfect position, and on the left side we have a mechanical D-pad. It is removable and you can replace it with a cross-shaped D-pad. The back buttons are accessible when using the Joy-Con sideways, but the position might change depending on the side you are using. The color accent is perfect, but the plastics in this area is a bit thin, and the LEDs are brighter, which means that you get a bit of light bleed. It's more visible in dark environments. The middle piece of the Joy-Cons can also be used with the original ones, and you can use it to charge the Joy-Cons as well. The USB Type-C ports you see here are used to update the firmware, but you can also charge each side through here if you want. These Joy-Cons won't get in the way of the kickstand or on the switch dock. Here's a test of the magnetic grips on the Switch 2. It's just as strong as the original Joy-Cons. When inserted in the console, it is detected as an original Switch 2 Joy-Con. And the vertical lights changes depending on the player number. Yellow and green for player 1 and 2, blue and white for player 3 and 4. One of the issues with this prototype unit is that there is a bit of lag if you're using with multiple connections. Nyxi is aware of this and will fix this in the final version. Another thing is that the ZR button is mislabeled here. When connected, the Joy-Cons are draining the console battery, and even when you put the console to sleep, the Joy-Cons will keep charging. When you turn the console back on, the joycons will be in the wireless mode. The only way to make it physically connect again is by removing and reattaching the controllers. Also, the vibration motors are pretty strong. When used wirelessly, these joycons can wake up the console. It has motion controls, and there's no NFC reader here. You can use the back buttons with a remap function or a macro function. And there is a turbo function with a toggle mode. You can change the turbo speed, and the vibration speed as well. And here's a look at the RGB effects. The way to change the brightness intensity is a bit cumbersome. You have to hold down the button and release when the brightness is at the level that you want. Also, this vertical light cannot be turned off in the current firmware. These joycons are compatible with the Keylinker software. You can use it to configure settings on the go through your phone. Checking the performance of the sticks, there is a huge dead zone here. The outer dead zone is pretty big as well. There's cardinal snapping too. Again, Nyxi is aware of these issues and will fix those in the final version. I also tested the Dpad and it's pretty good. The diagonals are easy to press and the inputs are super consistent. Here's a look at the manual before we go to the teardown. Disassembling the controller is super easy. You just have 4 screws on the back. Here's a look at the back buttons and the release mechanism. There is a metal pivot on the trigger, and the battery has 600 mAh of capacity. The rumble motor is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's compact yet very powerful. Here's the switches for the menu buttons, and the sticks has GenFull modules. If you notice here, the Hall effect sensor is on the board itself, so it's not easy to replace by those generic modules. Here's the switches for the face buttons, and here's a look on the other side of the shell. On the other side we have a similar construction, but we have different switches for the D-pad. It's a similar mechanism to the FlyDigi D-pads. I was pretty surprised. Moving to the final thoughts, I cannot give a definitive opinion yet. Since this is a prototype unit, there is a lot of issues that might be fixed on the final version. I will make a video update when this version comes out. You can pre-order the Nyxi Hyperion 3 right now at Nyxi's website. I'll be leaving the links in the description below. And that's it for today. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I don't know. Try scanning.
Emergency lockdown for this area. What's going to say?